All right, so what sells best in a concession and what is a good profit margin for a concession food business? So in this video, in a series that I'm doing, this is a number 3 out of about 10 or so videos, we're gonna do back to back to give you individual low investment concession food style businesses so you can start. It takes very little investment, a little bit of your time, and you can literally get these types of businesses up and running in less than a week. I break down today's business, which gives you 91% profit margin on the product. I'm gonna explain to you what this product is, how to get started, the cost, and everything you need to know to get yourself up and running. And we're gonna get to that right now. All right, guys, so welcome back to Marketing Food Online. So in this video, I want to run down a third in the series, as I mentioned in the introduction, about simple, easy, and fast food businesses that are legitimate money-making the businesses that actually take less time than you think and not as much of an investment as you possibly think as well, but is a highly profitable individually per unit. Some of these are 80, 90, and above as far as your actual percentage of profit. And in the first 1 and 2 videos, which you can check out those links if you haven't seen it down in the description below this video, check out those other 2. But I'm going one at a time, and I'm going to give you guys some really simple ideas to help you make money, because I know many of you are probably looking to make some cash. These are legitimate food businesses, and they're great too, because many of them you can actually start from home, and in some cases under cottage food laws, they don't require in certain states permits, inspections, licensing, or anything. Most of these that I'm actually showing you do fall under cottage food laws, and you can definitely make them. Now, let's jump into it really quick. You're probably wondering, which one are we doing today, Damien? What product is this? These are actually waffle on a stick. Now that may sound a little funny. There's an image right there, a picture of what it is. Waffle sticks. These are something that are super simple to make. It's literally a waffle batter that's put into a waffle stick iron, which I'll talk about in a second. An actual maker that actually makes it, you put the stick in, it cooks up in a matter of just maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most. It bakes up. Then you can top it with all kinds of chocolate. You can do toppings on it, anything else that you want, and then you hand it to the customer and you're done. It's very easy to make, very fast to make, which is great when you're at a concession stand style situation when you have a lot of people waiting in line. You don't want to produce a product that takes too much time. Something that's fast and quick can be made fresh, either hot or super cold, whatever it might be. And then of course you give it to the customer and you move on to your next one. This item in particular has a 91%, and I'll explain to you how that works over here, 91% profit margin. And the thing of it is that this item is something that appeals to moms and dads and kids alike. Now, some of the products that we make, cotton candy, the last video we did, we actually discussed cotton candy as a concession business, hugely big margins, very easy to make, but a lot of parents don't necessarily eat cotton candy. A lot of kids do. But this is something that is very appealing to both parents and kids. So the idea of selling more of them to a family is something that would definitely be more appealing. So let's dive into this. So what do I need? So in order to get this started, if you're looking to figure out what sells best in a concession stand, you're gonna need a waffle on a stick iron. And as I just mentioned, this is a type of iron that looks similar to a waffle maker in a sense, but it actually allots for the stick, when I'll get into that in 1 second, the stick to be put on the side of the actual maker, so it bakes directly onto the sticks. You pull it off, you wrap it around either some paper of some kind, or you can do toppings and then hand it to your customer and you're done. But the iron itself, we found, now these are entry-level pieces of equipment. I'm not gonna tell you that you can start this with something that's $700, $800. Some of these waffle irons can go up to $600 or $800, but you don't need that when you first start. If you get an entry-level unit at about $250, maybe even $300, and you start to make some profit, and if you want to invest in a bigger or even another unit so you can double up and make it twice as fast, then so be it. But the iron itself can start around $250. So this one in particular, this business, you can start for about $600, maybe $700 at the most, or even less. Waffle iron on a stick iron, bingo. Next up, waffle mix. This is literally basic waffle mix. It's a 5-pound bag, commercial size bag. We found it online for around $18. Now, as I mentioned in our other videos as well, all of these items will be listed below, so you don't have to go searching the internet and figuring out what am I talking about and where did he get that price point. Check out the links down below. That'll take you over to Amazon and a couple other different places where you can see for yourself and then figure out what unit you might want to get or invest in. Okay, so the waffle mix is 5-pound, that's $18. You're looking at about 200 sticks to get started, a 200 pack. It's around $10. Some of them you get 1,000 or more, it might be a little higher, or if you get a smaller pack of 100, it might be a little less, but around $10 you can get. Now the fourth same thing, this is an optional signage, like one of the big signs. So if you come up with a name for your waffle stick business or waffle on a stick, you can actually create a sign of some kind to draw people's attention to your booth, wherever you may be, if it's fairs, farmers markets, local events. Now, I'm doing this series specifically in the fall. Right now it's November, it's beginning of November 2022. So in between November and December, there are a ton of Christmas holiday events, different fairs and festivals. This is the time to do it, guys, and you can make a ton of money doing this from like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Weekend events and that type of thing are great times to do this. So if you're looking to pick up some additional cash, instead of taking additional hours at work where maybe you're making $10, $12, or $15 an hour, you could be pulling in a considerable amount more money doing these very simple food businesses, and it gives you an opportunity to get some experience operating a food business, because if that's something that you're interested in doing, but you're not sure just yet what to make, some of these are great ideas. You can get the ball rolling and you can start making some profit and figure it out, hey, you know what, I like this, but that's not my thing. Maybe I want to do that or do this. So number 4 is the optional signage. That comes in at around $50 for a sign. Depending upon the different colors and the size of the banner, the sign itself, that's going to dictate the price of the sign, but you can get a really good one for about 50 bucks. How much is that, Damien? So your initial investment for this business, $328. Now, that's on the low end because, like I said, if you wanted to go with some bigger piece of equipment, you can knock yourself out and go ahead and do that. That's fine. Now, with that being said, at $328, you can get additional toppings and some other things. If you don't want to do just chocolate or you want to do something else, that's perfectly fine as well. That might put you at about $400, okay? So, all right, so you've got your $400, you've invested in your thing. Now, per unit cost, Damon, how much do these items cost per unit, and how can I make 91% profit on it? That sounds like it's crazy. Well, it's not. It's actually true. Number 1, if you want to just coat it with syrup, some people actually just make these and coat it with syrup, so it's very similar to like the kind of waffle that you eat for breakfast. If you were to do a topping or a syrup, it's around 10 cents per unit, okay? And the mix itself is around 15 cents, and the stick, which is the wooden stick, is about 2 cents, very inexpensive. So you're 27 cents into each unit, okay? Now, if you, again, you add a little more toppings, maybe you're gonna go 50 cents, wouldn't go much higher than that, but around 50, maybe 60 cents, okay? Now, it retails for around $3. Now, this is, again, a recommended retail price. This is on a low end. I've actually been, again, to many fairs and festivals. I've seen these, and people put a lot of toppings on them. They sell them for $6 to $9 each. Yes, that's crazy, but they do. So you've got $3 retail at 27 cents cost. You're walking away with $2.73 per unit. If you get into an event and you're selling 300 units a day, like I mentioned on my other videos, you probably think, wait a minute, Damien, how can I really honestly sell 300 units a day? As I mentioned before too, that is not a big number, guys. If you have an event where there's thousands of people and you have a family of 4, like I always do as my example, and you sell 4 of these, that right there is 4 units out of the way, and you've already into around $10 profit off of one transaction. So 300 units a day brings in $819. Yes, that's right, $819. Now, that's one day. So if you were to do an event, normally they're Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays. So you've got 3 days into it, you're $2,457 in profit. Okay, so Damien, but there's other expenses. I have to drive there, so there's gas, and if I hire someone to help, I gotta pay them. No big deal, no problem. You're right, you do. Gas and labor on one day. If it even comes to $100, you're not gonna use more than $100 in gas. I know gas prices have gone up a little bit, but there's no way that you're gonna take $100 to drive one way and come back for $100. You're going in the wrong direction if you are. But if $100 and you've got someone that you're actually paying as well, brings that $2,457 down by $100. And if you do 3 days, that's 300 bucks. Okay, so you're still $2,157 in profit. This product brings in 91%. Okay, but Damien, lastly, I know you talk about fairs, you talk about these events, but they're going to charge me, right? There's going to be a fee. You're right, there is a fee. But let me explain how that works as well. Number 1, it's either a flat fee or a percentage. Most events cost between about 100 to 200 bucks to get in for an event. Let's say a fair or a flat festival or a farmer's market. They're going to charge you 100 to 200 bucks. Even if they do, they're going to charge you 100, let's say 200 bucks. So take another 200 off of this. You're walking away with over $1,957. Still, 3 days. Now, how can you double this? How can you make more than that? Well, guess what? If you have a friend or a family member, or you have a couple of them, you should invest in multiple units. And you should actually go to multiple events at the same weekend. So if there's an event that's on one side of town, there's an event on the other side of town, and you have a brother or cousin or somebody who's really wanting to get into it, maybe your dad, then you guys need to split up. And if you spent a 3-day weekend and you pulled in 2,100 bucks on a 3-day weekend times 2, that's $4,200. One weekend. Now there's obviously 4 weekends roughly in each month. So between November, December, and maybe even New Year's around January, there's still events going on for the new year. That's 3 months worth of money. That is a lot of money doing multiple events at the same time. Now, how can I add more to this, Danny? This sounds great. You know what? And if I made 819 bucks, that's good. Can I do more than one food item? Yes, you can. You need to check, obviously, with the event that you're going to and ask them, hey, I'm doing waffles on a stick and maybe cotton candy. Watch my other videos. Check out my other types of food businesses I just put up. Two of them I started in the series. They're going to show you how to do those other businesses. One side of your tent, you can have cotton candy. On the other side, you could be doing waffles on a stick. You could take that and create 2 or 3 grand in a 3-day span instead, and increase your actual revenue by offering more additional items. And again, these are food businesses that you can start for less than 500 bucks. The last one I did was actually less than $500, and you can get up and running. Now you're saying, well, Damien, you know what? My city actually requires a business license, so I got to have a vendor's permit, and that's going to cost 100 bucks. So what? So then pay it. You pay $100 to get into the event, fantastic. You need a temporary, what's known as a temporary concession or temporary vendor's license. That might happen. They're normally about $100, $150, but you're making like $2,457. So if you have to pay for a temporary license, get it. No big deal. This is a business that you can get up and running on a high side for about $500 to $600. On the low side, about $400. So this is another way that you can make some cash with a legitimate business and literally order these items, get them in a few days, and you could start creating a revenue in a matter of a week or maybe 2 weeks at the most. Find yourself some local events. It's not that hard to do. Every single state has events during this time of year. That's what's so cool about these types of food businesses, even if it's a temporary thing. Through summer and spring, guess what? You can still be selling these items. Cotton candy is a year-round item. It's not necessarily in the fall, but you can take these different businesses and you can alternate them maybe. You can even do some waffles. Hey, waffles on a stick do great during November, December. During spring and summer, maybe cotton candy at a local swimming pool, local community center, local events. These are very inexpensive food businesses, guys, but the margins are absolutely insane. So if you have any questions about waffle on a stick business or any of the business videos I've got, definitely let me know down below. And if you need any consulting, I do also do 1-hour consults as well. Check out the links down below the video. And if you check out these additional resources right here, and I will see you guys on our next video.